I'm Shannon, I'm the founder of ReefCircular, and we're a startup that makes artificial reefs to go in areas where the natural habitat has been damaged in some way, and they help to increase marine biodiversity. I'd say it's mainly the materials we use and also our designs. So when we're choosing materials, we're very careful to use science-backed materials and ones that are going to benefit marine life the most. So we use clay, and we're also developing our own bioconcrete that's made out of waste shells from fisheries and natural marine binders. So it's got an optimum pH for marine life. And because it's made mainly of marine-derived materials, it's also really suited to marine life. And then with our designs, we make them based on the specific ecosystem they're going to go in and the species present there. So it really helps to maximize the effect on marine biodiversity. For us, the main indicator is how our reefs affect biodiversity. So when we put them in the water, we always monitor them. It's not just so we can provide customers with data, it's also so we know that they're doing their job and what they're meant to. And then depending on the way we monitor them, we can also improve them over time. So in a recent pilot project, we used underwater cameras with AI species recognition, and they also had this really cool feature where they could kind of put heat maps on so they could track where the species liked the most. And with our reefs, we saw they liked the opening at the top the best, so we're going to probably, in the next design, incorporate some more kind of holes in for things to hide in. So the whole idea behind the bioconcrete was trying to make a material that was environmentally friendly as we could make it. So we use waste shells from fisheries. Often the shells are disposed of in landfill, where they eventually either are buried or burned. So we use those shells and grind them into a really fine powder, so like flour. And then we mix them with some marine binders, and it makes this kind of bioconcrete. So we're preventing those shells from going to waste and then using them. And we also use renewable materials as well. I think kind of sticking to the principles that we do want to do something that's going to be really good for the environment. There are lots of different options that we could take that maybe we could go quicker doing it, but it's not as environmentally friendly. So we're trying to choose the kind of best option that we can at the time to be environmentally friendly. I'd say we do use different technologies. So like Camila is the one who does all the kind of computational design and stuff. So usually I'll just draw a reef with like a pen and paper, and then she's the one who turns it into the kind of finished reef product. So she does all that kind of side of things. And we do use the underwater cameras with AI species recognition, and we do pen like a dashboard as well, so we can see like the different species present, the numbers. So that's been very useful for getting the kind of data. Yeah, just kind of reaching out to people like in my network, or even like calling people, being like, would you like to work with us? So universities are a really good one. A lot of them want to research the best ways that we can help to increase marine biodiversity, but also we're looking into working with offshore infrastructure as well, and kind of making it a win-win situation. We can increase biodiversity but also benefit the offshore company. Yes, we use lots of networks and ecosystems, one of which is the Steam cluster, which is really good at connecting us with other kind of players who are looking to improve water quality. Yeah, it has. So we have to collaborate closely with fisheries, because that's where we get the shells from. So it's good we have a good relationship with them. And then because we're based in a kind of small lab space where we do the kind of prototyping and development, we don't have a big space for doing larger scale production. So we work with a few different companies. So one that can process the shells for us, they clean them and also mill them into the powder. And then we do large scale 3D printing with another company as well. So with them, it's really great because what we do is quite niche. And so they're very open to trying new things, and they're very kind of interested in what we're doing and supportive, which is really nice. I think it can be sometimes doing the more sustainable option is more difficult to do. So it can be more expensive to do that, and it can take longer times to reach that process. So I think it can be doing the right thing sometimes can be the harder choice in terms of like time and money. So I'd say that's probably one of the more difficult things, especially when you're an early stage startup, you don't have that much money to go on. So it can make it more challenging to grow a successful business. I've learned lots of different lessons, but I think one of them is if you have an idea, sometimes you have to go out and prove that it can work before people might believe you. So one of the things we got when we were kind of first starting, before we'd set up like a little supply chain for the bioconcrete, was people didn't think there was enough shells. But we did the research, and there are more than enough shells for us to use. And then we set up kind of a small supply chain just in Denmark. So kind of having that in place and being able to show that actually it can work, you just have to rethink kind of how things are done a bit. So I'd say, just because maybe people tell you no, you can't do it. If you think you can, just, go and try it and maybe prove that you can. And if you can't, well, at least you give it a go. Yeah, I'd say in general terms, you might not be able to be like, 100% sustainable and green from the get-go, because it can cost more money and time to do that. But try your best to be as green as you can, and kind of have also a long-term plan of what you'd like to implement, and then also think carefully about the small choices you're making and how that's going to be impacting sustainability. And if you kind of have a choice between two, if possible, choose the more environmentally friendly one.